Any transformation video would be a great analogy for the energy present in how the Magician Tarot card works. You see, the Magician card is all about having the tools, know-how, and divine inspiration to co-create something incredible, something magical. Taking raw materials and making something fantastic out of it is a skill we can all be proud of. One definition of a magician is someone with magical powers. Please understand, though, that we all have access to magical powers, except it's less magic and more spiritual. My favorite definition is a person with exceptional skill in a particular area. I believe we can all have exceptional skill in a particular area so long as we are self-aware and connected to the ever-present magic of divine spiritual inspiration and power. So take a deep breath. I'm going to show you 4 different magician cards, and I want you to notice which one of the following cards stand out to you. Which one at first sight resonates with you? Take note of that card, because after I summarize the theme that card carries, I will be sharing a reading diving into the ways in which you are connected to the ever-present magic of divine spiritual inspiration and power. This first one is from the Everyday Witch Tarot deck. Next is the Muse Tarot deck. And here we have the Light Seers Tarot deck. And finally, the This Might Hurt Tarot deck. The Everyday Witch Tarot card, you see the person standing there in this very sacred space that they've created. You can see how they have all their tools laid out: the cup, the sword, the wand, and the pentacle, all there on this table that looks like it might have been made out of the wood of the tree that's there, the stump of the tree that's left there. It feels like an altar space. It feels like a space of consecration and concentration. And you can see how their hands are wide open, ready to receive and to understand what they need to do next. Their head is illuminated with light, and their soul, their light from within is also shining. There's so much there that's indicating this divine energy that's being poured into this person, and they are waiting their instructions. They look like they're focused on what they're about to do, what they're about to create with the help of the Almighty Creator. And I think that that's an amazing card demonstrating the importance of the connection between spirit and the physical world, spirit and our human bodies, that we are the conduits, if you will, of this energy. And in this card, I see this type of magician is showing us that we need to be, I keep doing this with my hands because it's so important to be open and receptive. And that's exactly what this card is showing us, to be open and receptive, using the tools you have. The tools are not in their hands, their hands are open. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing next, but I'm listening, I'm focused, and I know that you're here with me. That's what this energy is feeling like in this magician card. The way in which you are connected to the ever-present magic of divine spiritual inspiration and power, you've got 2 of Wands, the Fool, and Queen of Pentacles. When you take action towards what you're being led to, especially something that is outside of your comfort zone, these moments enrich your life with so much information about how capable you truly are. You often have to take that leap of faith to find out you have wings that actually work. You are connected to spirit through the learning that takes place. Each and every time you push yourself to be more of a co-creator is the more you become aware and secure in who you are meant to be. The Muse Tarot. You almost can't even see that there's a person here. This magician card is reminding us all that it's not even about you. They're blended in so much into the background, into the landscape of what's around them. You do see them, though, completely with their hands straight up and just like almost like surrender that I'm not an individual in this case. This is a person who understands that their role and their abilities and their capabilities and their purpose is a part of a greater whole, and they're allowing the flow of energy to go through them and around them and to be grounded. You see this big hunk of rock right in front of them. That tells me that they are focused on the fact that they are grounded within what they know, and that's all that they need to know. They're looking up towards the sky. They're looking up towards what's happening next. It's not about me. It's not about them. It's about whatever you want me to do. I'm here. I'm completely surrendering to whatever you want me to do, and I understand that you have a purpose for me, and I'm going to fulfill that purpose. That's what the Muse card is saying. And it's a beautiful card because you feel the passion in this card. You feel the calm in this card. You feel the excitement in this card. You feel so much in this card. And yet the person is standing completely like a pillar. And you can see the energy flowing within there. They're receiving information through their crown chakra. Because after you've taken the leap in the Fool, the next step is to be receptive. Again, you have to be receptive. And here you see all of these colors flowing into their crown, and they're completely surrendered to this crown energy, that their energy they're getting through their crown. And that's a very important step in this Magician card. This type of magician is reminding you that if you're taking that leap and if you believe that you have this purpose, that you have to completely, fully, 100% ground yourself in the idea and the knowledge that you are truly an intricate part of the overall plan, and that it's not about you, it's not about how you look. It's actually better if you allow yourself to be completely surrendered to the guidance that you're going to be receiving and allow that to flow through you. The way in which you are connected to the ever-present magic of divine spiritual inspiration and power, you've got Death and Queen of Emotions. Much of the magic and divine power within you comes from your ability to be born again and renewed. Each cycle that ends allows you to shed so much of your old self that only hindered you from developing into the beautiful being you were meant to be. What's often hidden and stuck in between the cracks for others, but where the true beauty of divine energy peeks through in you, is in your ability to be hopeful and optimistic about the possibilities, about life, about the sacredness of purpose. Where some may have to reach and work so hard to be faithful to spirit, it comes naturally to you. It's always glowing and visible in your big, compassionate heart. You embody and honor the regenerative energy of Earth and can deep dive into the waters of the deepest ocean within and feel completely at home. The Light Seers Tarot Magician. I would say the magician here is probably coming out of hermit mode or going into hermit mode, and they're just really focused on their internal understanding of who they are. Maybe there's someone who just spiritually awakened and they're like, holy crap, this, whenever I do something, this happens. You can see one hand having this energy come out of and then coming right back into the other hand. There's nothing that we can actually do and give and push out into the world that won't come right back to us in some form or fashion. And so this card, to me, this Magician card is a reminder for people who chose this one that everything you do is related to what you're going to see happening. And it might not happen right away. It might not be instantaneous, but you have to recognize that your part of this process is very, very important. They're looking down feels like a lot of introspection, that they're still understanding who they are, they're still understanding what they're capable of, and they're testing it out, if you will. They're seeing it happen before their very eyes. And it's such a vast open. You see how this portal, if you will, is just so, it just feels like it's never ending, and it's such a small card, but you can feel like the depths of this card is immense. Sitting in that position feels like you are not moving from that position, that you will not get up from this position until you've completely figured this out. That's what this Magician card is also telling the person who chose it. Don't move. Stay put. Stay focused on who you are, understanding yourself, introspection before you can move on. Because once you understand the role that you're playing, then you could better move forward in the next step. You can better make decisions. You can better use and utilize what you have. And that's what this Magician card is showing us. In order to be empowered, in order to understand your role, in order to move forward, you need to be empowered. And behind them, you can see this golden light that is demonstrating that they are built. It's not that bright. It's there, but it's not like blindingly bright. So to me, it feels like they're gaining momentum on their solar plexus. You're gaining momentum on your solar plexus. You're gaining momentum on your purpose by understanding who you are, what you do, and how it's related to what you've been doing and what you want to do. It's a never-ending cycle of getting information from spirit through your crown chakra. If you are open to receiving that, you're going to constantly get information. You're constantly going to be processing information. That's why it's so important to be introspective and understanding that connection for yourself and how you play a role in that in order to move forward. I also like the fact that their physical body isn't dressed with a lot of clothes. There's not a lot on this person. They have the bare minimum on. Their arms are exposed, their legs, their feet are exposed. It tells me that they are also willing to strip down to the bare necessities in order to move forward, in order to be empowered. That they don't need to have all this like accolades and validation from outside sources. That they're willing to just be completely as bare as possible and as exposed as possible and as vulnerable as possible in order to really understand. And that's what's really important. If you have on a lot, that also means that you are also protecting yourself from really seeing yourself fully. This card demonstrates somebody who is willing to take off and put on the very bare minimum in order to be their absolute best self.
The way in which you are connected to the ever-present magic of divine spiritual inspiration and power, you've got the Star and Page of Wands. You always find out what you need to know, just when you are most receptive to taking it in. Let's be clear, you are always learning and absorbing information. You are always seeking and looking to understand. But when it comes to yourself, the divine has always stepped in and given you gems of wisdom about who you are and who you are not. Keeping your feet on the ground always so that you are never lost or overwhelmed by all the expectations. This allows you to remain enthusiastic about what is possible and what is within you to find and understand and accomplish for yourself.
The This Might Hurt Tarot Magician card. Whoa, okay? Bold, action oriented. The fact that they're wearing red, and it looks like red leather at that. Red leather, like not playing around. We're not joking. We mean business. They have their candle. That means that they understand that they are illuminated, that they have an understanding of what's going on, and that they have their fingers pointing down, which is also a very typical magician position. This is not a card that is unusual. This is very close to the original Rider-Waite symbolism for the magician card, but definitely updated, definitely modernized, right? With the outfit and everything. Look at their face. This feels like someone who is very passionate. This type of person is very focused, very goal oriented. They very much are aware. The determination in the eyes, that they are almost like trying to prove something. And that's the thing about this magician card. This energy of, I am here and I'm gonna show you. They just have this candle light that again represents being illuminated, being able to like walk through any dark spaces and not be afraid and not be blinded and not be unable to see where to go next. That they have that empowered and they're like, I'm here. I got this. That's what this energy is. This is someone who is very comfortable and confident being the center of attention. This is someone who is very much confident in their abilities and that they just are ready to go on to the next thing. Red represents the root chakra. That's someone who's very bold. When you're wearing red, you're not trying to be bashful. You're not trying to be timid. You want the attention. You want the accolades. You want you're vibrant, right? Everyone knows who you are when you walk into the room. That's the energy of this particular magician card. And if you don't really feel like that, let's say you don't actually feel, I'm here, I'm bold, I'm loud. If you don't feel like that and you chose this one, that is what your innermost being wants you to feel. They want you to feel empowered. Your higher self, your spirit guides, spirit itself wants you to feel empowered. They don't want you to walk through life, I guess, with your candle being timid. If you chose this card and you don't naturally feel like it resonates with you, what I just said, you're being told, get up and stop acting like you don't know what you're doing. Get up and stop being afraid to be seen. Get up, get up, get up. That's what this card is saying. Move, let's go. You got it, now let's go.
The way in which you are connected to the ever-present magic of divine spiritual inspiration and power, you've got the Sun, King of Cups, and Three of Cups. Spirit has empowered you with confidence, the ability to dust yourself off and keep going, to take your lumps and bumps and shrug it off. This unyielding belief that you are worthy of the best life has to offer, this internal fuel that is unmatched. For some, you may not have utilized this energy, and even if you haven't quite uncovered it within, you can find it if you dedicate yourself to uncovering it. It's likely buried under shame and unnecessary guilt, but it's there. It pushes through in the way you love and encourage others. It pushes through in the way you are compassionate towards those you love and how you extend grace to them when they make mistakes.